Hi, and thanks for clicking on the 98 Not Out YouTube channel. Remember, you can do us a massive favor. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up down below. And better still, subscribe to the channel. Click down there on the subscribe button, and you'll get all the updates from all of our brand new content as soon as it drops. Thanks for your support. Big news of the last 7 days has been the goings-on in Pakistan. It started with New Zealand deciding they didn't want to play their game at the very last minute when everything was set to go. And then following that, we've had the news that England now have pulled out of their short 4-day tour of some white ball tours with the men's and the women's team to Pakistan. It seems very vague, but the whole decision has been met with widespread condemnation, both here and abroad. So I wanted to go to the source and find out from Pakistan what the feelings were locally about this decision. So we're joined from Lahore by Mr. Aamir Sohail. Aamir, how are you, sir?
I'm very good, but not very happy with the decisions made by two cricket playing countries. It has left people disappointed, not only in Pakistan, all over the world, and then I should say distraught. Not very good these few days.
Yes. Now, just for context for people that maybe don't know quite the background of the situation, let's wind the clock back 12 months or so when Pakistan were very willing to get onto an aeroplane to come to England to salvage the English summer last year when England were in a bit of a mess and they had broadcast deals and everything to fulfill. It was the middle of the pandemic. At that time, COVID wasn't such a big deal in Pakistan, but still the players travelled and came to England. And have been to other nations since and have shown a lot of goodwill. But it looks like now this goodwill has been thrown in their face.
It has been, and there is a thing called reciprocation. We haven't seen that. You not only talk about England, that Pakistan helped them with quite a few things. They bailed out New Zealand as well. And in those unusual times where COVID-19 was peaking, and those quarantine days where there were so many restrictions and what to do and what not to do, players, they were willing to help England and New Zealand. But they've been paid by something totally different, which has left everybody actually wondering why. Why was the decision made by these two countries where Pakistan was phenomenal and very helpful in those times.
And for the last 2 years, we've had international teams playing cricket in Pakistan, including MCC that sent a team over last year. And there were no problems. And it was widely appreciated that the country has moved on. It's a safe place to be now. There are no concerns. It seems very, very strange as to all of a sudden. And this is without any government intervention. The British High Commissioner said there are no issues, there's no travel restrictions. It seems very strange.
It is. Look, in recent past, South African team toured Pakistan, played a few test matches, ODIs and one days, and they were very happy with the security provided to them. If they wanted to go somewhere, they were allowed to do so. Even PSL players, foreign players, they came out to Karachi. They were allowed to go out and play golf and everything. They were taken care of, and there was no security issue. And suddenly, this thing erupting from nowhere has left everybody surprised why it has happened, and especially with the fact that our army chief, who's an ardent cricket fan, who has played cricket, he actually said categorically, whichever team comes to Pakistan, armed forces of Pakistan, they're going to provide them with the state level security. And it's been happening. It's been the norm. At times, I do understand it's a bit too much for the players. But for the sake of cricket, there was a little bit of sacrifice made by the players, which was highly appreciated. I think this sort of thing coming out from New Zealanders, it is disappointing, and it has attracted a lot of vituperous criticism as well. But I know they made a decision because of certain reasons, but we have to see ourselves as well. With the changing geopolitics, what happened in our neighborhood in Afghanistan. Obviously, geopolitics have changed. So we should have been, I should say, we should have been alarmed, but we should have been able to stay alert. And, we could have done one thing, which is called anticipatory intel. So if we had that and showed them, okay, here's everything, which I believe which was shown, but it was denied. So I think it's sad for cricket, but in the entire, if you look at the entire scenario, I think New Zealand, England, and also Pakistan have to think, what are we looking to the game of cricket?
That's right. And again, the following and the passion for cricket in Pakistan is second to none. Everyone I know that's been, even recently, Mark Butcher, who's a good friend of ours, visited for the PSL, and he said it was an amazing atmosphere. He was looked after and didn't feel in any way in any threat. But also what I find curious is that the ECB are saying about mental health and bio bubbles and all the rest of it, but this tour that we're talking about is only 4 days, so it's not going to be too much of a stretch, surely.
Yeah, the thing is, look, you know it and I know it. It's the most revered sport in our region, in subcontinent, cricket. Yeah. And people actually live, dream, eat cricket. So I mean, whoever so comes to Pakistan related to cricket, more than welcome. Now people are very hospitable, forthcoming. They go extra yard to get them accommodated, and then this thing happens, which is not good. And what was your question? I think I forgot about it.
They're trying to say that, it's because of the bio bubbles and mental health.
Yeah, but listen. I think that was lame. That was lame because, see, if Pakistani they spend a lot of time in quarantine and all that to the players, they're going to be, fatigued. Look, players do get fatigued. They could have sent somebody else to come over to Pakistan just to fulfill their commitment. If it was the case, then okay, have somebody else coming and give few players a bit of rest, and they say, okay, join us in UAE for the World Cup. But having said that, it might have been difficult for England, but we actually expected a better excuse, which could have made a little bit of sense.
Mike Atherton has written in the Times in London this morning a very angry article, and for someone like Mike Atherton, who's normally a very steady guy, very angry about the ECB, and no one from the ECB has stepped forward to speak to the press or make statements or answer questions. They've kind of hidden away, which they've done all summer with various other issues. I wish someone would just be open with this and say exactly why, because otherwise it just doesn't add up. And my personal view,
it's lame. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Look, Pakistan is a worthy friend. How many times Pakistan need to prove to England and English Cricket Board that, we are there to help you out. Whenever you require us, we're going to be there. We have helped you in, off the field as well. So what do we need to prove? That we are worthy of friends. And thing is, coming from them and leaving your friends stranded, it's not a good trait. And if this has happened, look, any other team, cricket playing nation, will think twice accommodating English cricket from here on. I think it's a bad precedent. They'll say, hang on, why should we do them a favor? Why? Are they going to return the favor or not? No, in the past, they backed out. So that'll be in the thought process in the future.
It was also the same with the West Indies. You remember when Pakistan came last year and the West Indies also came, and Jason Holder made a statement at a press conference saying, we've made this effort to come, So we want it reciprocated, and we want England to come to the West Indies, and that's yet to happen. So you're right. This is creating a very bad look. And I saw Ramiz Raja. He wasn't even hiding his anger at the decision.
See, how could any? I mean, I thought being a chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board, his reaction should have been balanced. But nobody could hide the anger because what Pakistan did and few other countries did to bail out England cricket, English cricket, Kiwis cricket. Pakistan actually went to New Zealand, and the situation over there was dire. But still, Pakistan fulfilled their promise and their commitment. But when when Pakistan needed them the most, they just backed out, or should I say, ran away.
Well, I think it's also worth noting that both New Zealand and England have had security incidents of their own. So recently, New Zealand had that terrible mass killing at the mosque in Wellington, and the Bangladesh cricket team were nearby. In fact, they were due to be at the mosque when this happened. But Bangladesh didn't run away or say, I'm not staying here. They carried on with their tour. Similarly, in 2005 in London, when we had all the bombings and attacks and everything, the touring teams then carried on. Was it Pakistan that was here then? It might have even been Pakistan.
I think it was Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry, yes, you're right. You're right. It was Australia, too, of course, 2005. And those are very big incidents, but people held their nerve and carried on. So I find it absolutely bizarre where there's nothing happening in Pakistan. No one's raised any comments. The government, the High Commission, everyone has said it's safe. Our travel plans, advisories are still the same. So you can't claim security. You can't claim COVID. What is it? What is it? Or is it the IPL?
I wouldn't resort to that. It's IPL. Might have been the reason as well. But I know geopolitics have changed because of events happened in Afghanistan. There is a shift of the policies and all that. That's for sure. But you don't have to penalize the entire nation and entire cricket fraternity with us. Everybody was looking forward to this series because everybody wants to gauge the sides. Where do they stand just before that World Cup? Just to make up their mind who to back and who to anticipate win the tournament. So we actually denied them the opportunity. So it's mind-boggling actually. Yes, everybody's anger. I'm trying to hide my anger, but the thing is, it's not good for cricket. It's not good for cricket. Simple. See, if that incident happened in New Zealand, where Bangladeshi team was supposed to go there and offer their prayers, if we construed in a different way that, okay, New Zealand is a dangerous country for Muslims to go.
Yeah.
If that narrative was brought out, New Zealand would have faced quite a few problems. And that BAM issue in UK, okay? And, there are so many things happening around the world. Anybody could make, excuse whenever they want to, but it's not a good thing. It's not a dumb thing. You have to fulfill your commitment. If you came to Pakistan, you were okay there. And at the last moment, you were given an alert that, okay, there is a threat and all that. I mean, you came to Pakistan trusting the authorities, okay? And you could have asked them to, okay, ensure, can we have more security in certain areas? Okay, would it be okay with the Pakistani management to play the matches without any spectators? They could have actually sat down and deliberated on everything. Just by saying at the last moment on the 11th hour, no, we are going back. Very regimental about it. We have to go back. And I think another thing, by our Prime Minister actually reaching out to New Zealand Prime Minister, I think it was not timely. because it left Pakistan with no option. Once he said no, it was done. So what we could have done in that situation was, okay, our Prime Minister should have spoken to his counterpart that, okay, I'm out of the country, let me come back to Pakistan, I'll scour the information, and after that, we'll deliberate. And meanwhile, let the New Zealand team stay in Pakistan. Okay, they are safe. Nothing is going to happen to them. Upon my return, we'll decide. So, that particular window could have given Pakistan authorities to make some other arrangements or taken different measures. So I think from both sides, the effort was lacking. So in the end, we all suffered.
That's true. Nobody's. It's very depressing. There is no winner in this, and it's very bad for the sport at a time where cricket is very much looking for new ways to survive. Things like this are very unnecessary, and there's no winners. Aamir, listen, thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate your thoughts. Just before you go, have you got a message to our Pakistani fans that are listening here in the UK?
Just keep backing the Pakistani team and keep on pleading your case. Keep on asserting that, Pakistan is a safe place to be. And, there is no problem for anybody in Pakistan. And, just keep on urging the English Cricket Board that come out with an excuse which makes sense. It shouldn't be that lame.
Aamir, many, many thanks for joining us from Lahore.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
I hope we can find some proper cricket to talk about very soon. And great to see you. And we'll catch up.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
then.